Let's get that correct. Alrighty, everyone, thank you for joining us this evening. Before we get started, I just have a few housekeeping announcements. You all are allowed to use the Q&A on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. Your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. And that'll remain that way through the program this evening. This is just one of the very many different sessions that are happening, so make sure to check out our full schedule at moacac.org. This presentation is being recorded, so you'll be able to find it on the website here within the week, again, at moacac.org. And now I'm going to turn it over to our presenters. Enjoy.
Well, Emily, if you'll go ahead and put it on screen 1, thank you. Welcome, everyone. My name is Deb Skinner. I'm the Dean of Admissions for Graceland University, and we're so excited to have you here with us tonight. If you don't know very much about Graceland, we are located right in the middle of farm country in the Midwest. We're about 2 hours north of Kansas City, right off Interstate I-35, and we are about 1 hour south of Des Moines, Iowa, the capital of Iowa. So I know that all of you are residents of Missouri, and I grew up in Blue Springs, Missouri, which is a suburb of Kansas City. And I felt like Graceland was the perfect distance from home. It was just far enough that my mom and my dad weren't there all the time, but if I needed to leave my winter clothes, I could always run home for the weekend for an important like family event or school event or something like that. But I really enjoyed being at Graceland University and felt like the school that I went to really prepared me well for college. So many of our Missouri students do really well at Graceland. They retain well. I think there's a good fit in a lot of ways. You're used to the Midwest, you're used to cold winters and the changing of seasons. And so the transition is just a little bit easier. My husband grew up in a small rural town called Eagleville, Missouri, and it's really considered a village. It only has 250 people in it. He also came to Graceland and did really, really well and enjoyed it. And I think that's one of the unique things about our community is it's very diverse. We are very inclusive. And we're diverse geographically. Our students come from all over the world and all over the United States. Our average hometown distance is 450 miles away. So that means you're going to meet people from the East Coast and the West Coast and the North and the South and countries all over the world. And so it's a way to be close to home, but yet be introduced to a lot of different thoughts and ideas different than what you grew up with. And it's pretty amazing. One of the things I wanted to share too is that we do not have an application fee. We want your college enrollment process to be as smooth and as stress-free as possible. So our application is free. We also don't have a deposit deadline. You can make your decision and deposit when you feel confident and comfortable about that. And we also are test optional. So if you don't want to take the ACT or the SAT, you don't need that to be accepted to the university. Sheena James, our head men and women's track and cross country coach, will talk a little bit later about NAI eligibility, and you might need a test score for that. But just to be accepted to the university, you do not have to take that test score. So those are some things that we're doing to try to make your college decision just less stressful. And for this year, we are having on-campus classes, and we are kind of navigating the uniqueness of COVID, and we're taking really good care of our students. We have done all 5 things that Harvard Medical School recommended for return to school, and so we feel like we're doing a good job trying to manage that. And we have been able to still have on-campus classes. So we're really enjoying the fall weather, the turning of colors on the trees. And it's just an idyllic environment here on campus right now. Another thing I wanted to share with you in my time is just briefly how engaged our alumni are in your success. Right after this call, I'm going to be stepping off to meet with some alumni that are part of our recruiting committee for alumni. And our alumni are here for you 5 years after graduation, 10 years after graduation, while you're a student right now with internship opportunities. And I think that's pretty impressive. But anyway, welcome to our session. I'm going to hand it off now to the next person on the agenda.
Hello, I'm Jordan Bradford. I'm from Cameron, Missouri, so I'm also a Missouri student here. I'm a senior psychology major here at Graceland. And some of my leadership positions that I've had here, they got me right out the gate. My first day of freshman year, I was an interim chaplain on our house council, and it looks like later on you'll kind of get a little more familiar with the house system here. So I was chaplain on the house for 2 years, and then I got to participate in the experience of I was a house president, which is another aspect of residence life here at Graceland. And then this year, I am a Graceland Student Government President, which is just such a fulfilling experience for me. So hopefully I can stay in connection with many of you. So what I've been asked is what do I love most about Graceland? I was a late application before my freshman year. I had 2 sisters that came here to Graceland and they loved it. But I wasn't sure if it was exactly right for me. But it was definitely one of the best decisions that I've made for myself. This place is built around a community that cares about you, throughout the staff and employees, and also your other students here. This is a place that we're uplifting and compassionate, and we care about the success of the students here, and making sure that we are in that harmony, that connection with one another. I've made lifelong friends here, people who I expect that I'll stay in contact with, as long as I can, Another thing that was touched on in the previous slide is the 13-to-1 ratio for class size. Academically, this place is incredibly supportive for you. With the smaller class sizes, that's something that I love about this place, is being able to have a nurturing relationship with my professors, and just be surrounded by learning and people who want to see me succeed. And that's a general consensus for this campus, is that's what we're here for, is to gain an education. And this is a wonderful place to grow and really be who you're supposed to be. After Graceland, I plan on attending graduate school and master in counseling with my psychology degree. And I feel that Graceland has set me up really well to move on in that process. As Deb was saying, there are connections all over the place from Graceland. And those are points that are welcoming and there to help you out in your journey throughout Graceland and beyond. But with my leadership here at Graceland, I feel like I've been given the tools and the skills and helped develop myself to really be a powerful and helpful component in whichever facet that I'm moving on to after my time here at Graceland. So thank you so much for your time here with us. My email, I'll make sure that it's through the admissions, that if you need to have a conversation or just want a little more insight from a current student here at Graceland, just please feel free to send any questions my way, and I'll be happy to get them and answer back to you. So thank you again for your time.
Thanks, Jordan.
Hi, my name is Brian White, and I'm the Dean for Arts and Humanities at Graceland University. And I want to spend just a few minutes and talk to you a little bit about some of the academic programs and the academic framework that Graceland University provides. You'll see on the screen there that we're a liberal arts institution. We have over 35 degree programs, but one of the things that I really want to focus on right now is something really unique and exciting that we've done. Is we've rewritten our core curriculum from the ground up over the last few years. And we refer to that as an essential education, the core things that every single student needs. And, I'd like to have you think to yourself, or go ask someone that you know, your parents, when the last time they went to a job interview, um, when the last time they were asked what their undergraduate major was. Very seldom is the specific major that you do as an undergraduate focused on in a job interview. And in fact, more and more, the statistics that we're finding nowadays are suggesting that your generation is a generation that by the time you're in your mid 30s, you will have not only changed jobs 8 to 10 times, but you will have changed entire careers twice. What that means is you will most likely be doing something when you're in your 30s that you did not even major in or focus in. You will probably have a job in your 30s that may not even exist right now. And if that's the case, then what we need to do is we need to prepare you for a world that doesn't yet exist. We need to focus not on a specific major, which you may not be employed, with 15, 20 years down the road. But in addition to that, we need to focus on these essential skills. And so what we did was we redesigned our core curriculum around the things that we know nationally through surveys employers are asking for in graduates. That is critical thinking skills, helping an employer to solve problems that the employer doesn't yet know that it has, solve the problems of that industry. Teamwork, because you're not going to be working in a vacuum. You're going to be working with other people. Both oral and written communication. If you have really good ideas, but you can't communicate those ideas, you're not going to be as successful in the field that you go into. And then they also are always looking for someone who's sort of ethically minded, ethically focused, someone who others can look up to. And so what we've done is we've completely redesigned our curriculum around those things, focusing students on developing those skills so that regardless of the career you end up in, you will not only become a successful, employee in that industry, but you will become a leader in that industry. That's my goal. That's our goal here. But one of the other things that is really unique about what we've done is we've recognized through research that students, faculty, others, we have a tendency to learn skills, to learn tools, and to utilize those tools best and apply those across different fields or contexts when we learn those within situations that matter to us. And so what we've done is we've asked students to help us come up with a series of themes that all of our core curriculum will be delivered through. And the students have helped us come up with those. And currently those themes are sustainability, which climate change is an important topic that students are focused on nowadays. Peace and equality is another topic that's really relevant nowadays, as well as innovation. Because the world is rapidly changing. I mean, we can see the desire for innovation right now in the midst of a pandemic, and the desire to find a vaccine as quickly as possible. And so what we did was we had all of our core classes address one of those key ideas. And so when I first came to Graceland, 15 years ago, I don't want to necessarily admit that, but when I came to Graceland as a faculty member 15 years ago, we would in the English program, for example, offer courses like Intro to Lit, where you would have a little bit of drama and a little bit of poetry and a little bit of fiction. Well, we scrapped all of the courses like that. We don't offer those courses anymore. Instead, the sorts of courses that we're offering are courses, say, in literature that focus on sustainability, or focus on innovation, or focus on peace and equality. Because I can promise you that someone in chemistry thinks about sustainability very differently than someone in philosophy or someone in ethics. They are asking different questions. It's the same in terms of innovation. Someone in computer science, at our university who's working with students in terms of 3D printing is thinking about innovation in a way very differently than maybe one of my colleagues in art or music does, who's really trying to push the boundaries of what's considered art in this world and engage the community in that sort of thinking. And this is how this is different from a major. A major asks you to focus on a single thing very narrowly and very deeply. Our essential education, by asking you to look at the core skills that employers are asking for, but to ask you to do it through these themes, is demonstrating that you, upon graduation, will have the ability to tackle the big and enduring problems that are facing our world nowadays, and be able to do so through multiple perspectives, not just through one discipline or one major, but through various conversations, various lenses. And it also demonstrates that teamwork that employers are looking for, because you will learn to tackle an issue like sustainability by talking with people not only from the sciences, but also the social sciences, and in psychology and the arts and theater, and people in humanities as well. And so in that way, it's really an interdisciplinary thinking that our liberal arts institution provides. And that's the sort of thinking that's really going to be necessary when you're out in the world and you're needing to help solve the problems and change the communities and make this world a better place. And so that's really what we're focused on. I'm an alumni of Graceland. I love this institution. I've worked at other institutions, large state institutions, smaller institutions, and I keep coming back to Graceland University because of this close, tight-knit family, this dedication to actually encouraging thought processes that aren't the very narrow ones, but very expansive, and asking the students to solve problems beyond their world. You can see on the slide there, these are all of the various academic programs that we have at Graceland University. These are sort of the areas, the divisions, the departments, and each one of these offers multiple types of majors from those. But again, this here, coupled with one of those thematic essential education programs, is really what's going to make you successful. Lastly, what I'd like to say is, if a student wants to take all of their essential education through one of those themes, sustainability or peace and equality or innovation, we will put it on your transcript as a concentration. So you might end up getting a degree in accounting with a concentration in peace and equality, or a degree in biology with a concentration in sustainability. And that is going to demonstrate, when you go into your first job interview, that you're the only candidate that those people are seeing that day that has been able to think outside of the box and required to do so. So if you have any questions about our academic programs, or primarily about our essential education program, because that's the most stunning, innovative thing that's happened, and we're the only institution that's doing it like that, please feel free to reach out to me through one of the admissions counselors, and I'll be happy to answer any of your questions. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Brian.
All right, I think I'm up for athletics, huh?
I think you are.
Right.
Go,
Hey
Coach.
guys, yes, I am head coach Sheeta James. I coach track and field and cross country. I have recently entered my third year here at Graceland. I'm not a Graceland alum, but I have made my coaching career at smaller private institutions, liberal arts institutions. And I'll tell you what, Graceland, I mean, it is a whole different world. It's a step above. It's a whole nother level. It's a great community to be a part of. We are an NAIA sanctioned school. We're not NCAA, we're NAIA, but we operate in a lot of the same ways that the NCAA does. We have 21 varsity teams, and we compete in the Heart of America Athletic Conference. And we are one of the toughest conferences in the nation in NAIA. We have a ton of national championship programs within our conference that we compete against, that we go up against, and that we get better against as well. And we are one of those programs. In 2018, our men's basketball team, they won the national championship. Just last year, actually just this last spring, we had a national champion in wrestling, Brendan Swafford. He had an incredible run. I think his record is he was 15-0 his last few matches throughout. So he finished an incredible season. We just started rodeo. I'm not a huge rodeo person, so I'm learning about it as we go. But I'm a huge supporter, and Coach Fenton Nelson, he's done a great job. We've had a couple of competitions under our belt, and they are doing fantastic. I love hearing about the updates from it. And also in esports, we are doing incredible things with esports. And that's, as Brian was stating, things aren't as traditional in college as it used to be in a major and things like that. So being able to come and participate in video games, because that's the world we live in now. It's an incredible opportunity, and we're doing great things on that side. And then also we have multiple teams with academic All-Americans, because number one thing you want to do, you're here to get an education, get a rounded education to set you off in the world. Just like Brian was saying, to do anything. So you're ready for anything. And so along those lines of academics, one thing that we do here with all of our athletes, we have a program and down in our Student Success Center, and every week you have to get 6 hours of study table time. That just makes sure that you're staying on top of your work. If you have tutor sessions, if you're struggling in classes or anything at all, we have those resources available to you. And so you're able to reach out and get help with those. Because again, your number one thing you're here to do is get an education. And then like Deb said about the NAIA Eligibility Center, this year, it is test optional for the NAIA, but with all this craziness COVID going on, that might change. They haven't declared an official decision on that coming in the future, if we're going to be test optional or not. But for this year and possibly moving forward into next year, it will be test optional. So it's just something to make sure you're eligible, you're academically eligible, and that you are on your way to completing your degree, and just making sure you're staying on track. We're getting ready for some great facility updates, much needed, and excited about these facility updates. It's going to be so exciting. We're our big indoor facility that is going to hopefully get underway this spring. And then also we're getting a new football turf next year. And those are all great things, but the real core root of athletics here is the family that we create, the culture that we create. We're on first name basis with your professors. I was just speaking with our soccer coach, and they got back at 3 a.m. on a game on a Tuesday, or whenever they came in, and one of the professors was ready for them at 8 a.m. with a coffee and a donut. So that's the kinds of things we do here. We go above and beyond. And because of our school, we are primarily athletics, and we do have scholarship opportunities available across the board. And then also we do offer JV programs. So if you're kind of like a late bloomer in your athletic ability, if you have the opportunity to still compete, still be a part of the team. But there's also opportunities to be on a management level as well. And there are scholarships provided for that too. But just like you hear, we are a tight-knit community. Our alumni base is incredible. One of our themes here is the power of together. And that's one of the best things that describe us. We set records for attendance at the national basketball game. The whole city shut down. I wish I would have been here for it. I came at the tail end of it. But on a Tuesday night, you go down to our gym for a volleyball game, it's packed, So we truly support and we truly love what we do here. And Graceland is just really a unique and special place to be. And being a part of athletics is an incredible opportunity and a family. Every time somebody's breaking it down, that's one of the main words. That's one of the things that we always promote. We all come together. Again, that's the power of together. And it's just something special to be a part of. And all our information is on gujackets.com. All of my information, contact, cell phone, anything, whatever you need. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. I wish I had more time to talk about Graceland Athletics because it's such a great thing. But I will hand it off to Sierra. She's an athlete right now, so she can give you the real goods on the real student athlete perspective.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, so hi guys, my name is Sierra Marshall. I am currently a senior here at Graceland. I am on the women's golf team. I have been a varsity women's golfer this is my 4th year now. So I've definitely gotten the full athletic experience, that is for sure. Like Coach Ina said, family, that is definitely a big part of Graceland Athletics. You have your Hall family, you have your Graceland family, you have your sports family. And so everyone on campus is there to support you in everything you do. Coaches, especially, I know my coach, Kevin Bruner, he's one of the main reasons that I play golf. It wasn't for him, I probably wouldn't be a college athlete. He supports me in everything that I want to do. Academics wise, he is for sure academics first. So making sure we go to class, making sure our grades are kept up. Mental health, he makes sure that we are staying up with mental health, getting rest, making sure we take care of ourselves. You're also, even if you're a student athlete, you can still do everything on campus. So I also am actually a part of student government. I have jobs on campus. So it isn't just athletics. You can do everything at Graceland. So I actually have 2 jobs. I help with the admissions office and I actually work for intramurals. So I kind of help with the student activity aspect of campus. So that's also always an option. So don't think that you're limited to just your sport. You are open and all coaches are wanting you to have the Graceland experience and be able to do those things. Every athletic team has their own fun things that you guys get to do as a team. Golf, the best thing that we get to do is our big spring break trips. So each spring we host a Little League basketball tournament. It's the longest day that we have probably of the whole entire year. We wake up and set up the gym about 6 o'clock in the morning and we're there till about 10:30 at night. And we have probably like 40 different Little League teams that come through, but that raises money for us to be able to go to spring break. So my freshman year, we flew out and we're in Las Vegas for a week. My sophomore year, we went to Phoenix, and then last year we went to Florida. And like they said, the alumni base. So every year we stay with an alumni. So they house us, they help feed us. And all we have to pay for is our plane ticket. So I've gotten to play some amazing golf courses all around that I've never thought that I'd be able to play because of the experience here. So that's one nice thing about us being such a small university and all of that. You get such a great experience you might not get to have at bigger universities. I know that we definitely build a great bond as a golf team when we go on these spring break trips, inside jokes, just big friendships that I'll have forever. Golfers that have graduated are still texting me, asking me how tournaments are going, how we've played, and all of that. They also support you in other things that they do. So golfers come out to intramural events because they know that I'm there, or have come to different academic things because they know that some golfers are involved in those. And the same with all of other athletic events. If you're involved in, say, like Ask or some of the other GSG positions, are like, oh, okay, my teammate is on the board for this, so I'm going to go and support them and other things that they do. So our campus is just a big community. The athletic department is a big community. We all come together normally at the end of the year for a big banquet to show off who's done great in the year. Sadly, we didn't get to have one last year because of the COVID and pandemic. But that's one thing that I enjoyed my freshman and sophomore year, was kind of getting together, seeing this like big video, seeing people getting awards for their great successes in athletics. So we definitely honor those athletes that have done really well. We also have a athletic student association. So I am actually the women's representative for that. So we help make sure that athletes are heard and different things that we might need on campus or things that might make the athletic experience better. We make sure that we do different events. So we've done a movie that is sports themed for all of the sports, the athletes. So we go to the Coliseum, which is the movie theater in town. We've shown dodgeball, Space Jam. So it's kind of a fun thing for all of the athletes to come together, have a good time and do that. So those are just fun, different things that the university kind of offers for all of the athletes while you're on campus. Practices are normally from 4 to 6 around that time period. So you don't ever have to really worry about a class getting in the way of being in a sport. So don't worry about that. Also, if you were to, my coach is very understanding. If a project comes up and you got to meet and you got to leave, tell them, they'll work with you, have a workout ready for you in a different way, but they will work around your schedule and make sure that school and athletics can stay as one, because they want to keep you on their team. I know that for a fact. And so it's just a great community to be a part of. If you guys ever have any questions about athletics or where to find things or how to talk to coaches or anything like that, the admissions counselors have my email, and I'm always willing to talk to students about anything. So thank you guys so much for having me tonight. Thank you.
Thanks, Sierra. That was awesome. Em, you're up.
Oh, uh-oh. Hold on.
Uh-oh.
Is it still sharing? Yes?
Yep.
Okay. Let me go back. Sorry. I hit unmute and it quit sharing. Big screen. So there we go. We also have visual and performing arts at Graceland University. That's one of our strong suits that we like to promote. There are scholarships available for those. We have 9 music ensembles, and those range from different choir programs and choral programs that we have to symphonic band and woodwinds and our drums and all sorts of stuff. We also have a theater department. They do usually one big, large musical each year, as well as several other plays. And then we also have our visual art department. So I did incorporate some pictures here. You can see Professor Christopher Brandt is conducting one of our concerts. We also have one of our most recent theater programs, and then Professor Karen Gergely doing some screen printing with some of our current students. Like I said, there are scholarships available for these, and we do stack our scholarships. So we often have students who are a student athlete, but are also involved in the visual and performing arts, and you are able to get a scholarship for both of those things. So I know Sierra and Jordan both kind of touched on our residence life. At Graceland, we are unique in that we have a housing system. Each student is automatically placed within one of these houses as a freshman. It's based on what floor you live in within the residence hall. We have several for the men and women. Often we come together in the fall for what we call a brother-sister house pairing. You'll compete in different activities during homecoming. One of those is the dodgeball that you see at the bottom of your screen. And another one is air band. This year, we will not be actually having a traditional homecoming in the sense this fall. We've actually pushed homecoming to the spring, but we still are offering house activities this fall. They've still been doing intramural sports and getting together and being socially distant and conscientious about those things. So these are just a few of the house activities that we do on campus. So we have a New Year's in November dance that's put on by our COSA, so our Council of Student Activities. We have air band, which is at homecoming. It's a big, you can recreate a movie within 5 minutes of song and dance. This is a picture of one here. I believe they were doing Shrek, so that was the 3 blind mice. We also have hypnotists, comedians that come in. Every other Thursday is a free Thursday night movie at the local movie theater. For Welcome Week, we have what we call messy games. Traditionally, this is a giant mud pit. This year, they were a little more creative because of COVID. And so I think they had like a giant food fight or something of the sort. And then lastly, right before finals in the spring, we have what we call Final Fling. We bring in a giant inflatables. Students can go around and participate in all of these, earning wristbands. And at the end of the evening, you turn in all of those wristbands. Generally, we have pizza and a dance party, and then also sometimes fireworks. And at the end, they calculate all those wristbands and do drawings for prizes. And those range from an Xbox, PlayStation, to a camping tent or roller skates or what have you. Usually every student ends up leaving with some sort of a prize, if you will.
So my name is Trish, and I'm another admissions counselor here at Graceland, as well as Emily. And so we're ending this session with you this evening with some more information. So one of the things I love talking about are the clubs and organizations on Graceland's campus. This is at least probably a third of the different organizations that exist on campus. And the reason they exist is that students come on campus. If they are not finding what they like or something that they have a big interest in, they create a club. And that's easy to do. You could even get Emily and I to sponsor you. You get a faculty or anybody or a coach or like I said, faculty or anyone to say, yeah, I'll help you sponsor that. So if you see any of those on there, some of them are a little deceiving. One of them being the trash talkers. Trash talkers is not really what that really means. It means that they go around and pick up trash around Lamoni or a campus or whatever. And so, yeah, it's a little different than what it appears. But some of the mini clubs that we have, the Ag Business Club, you don't have to be an Ag Business major to be a part of that. the Polynesian Club. You don't have to be Polynesian to be in that club. So anyone is able to join any club and create a club. So if there's something you'd like to do, the Lettuce Club is just, that's an insane club. It meets once a year. They eat a bunch of lettuce, and whoever eats the most is the next president next year. Don't ask me. I don't know. I don't get it. So anyway, so like I said, clubs and organizations is another aspect of something else to do, because we are in a small community. So you've already heard about the sports. You've heard about all of the visual and performing arts. And so those things go on all the time. These are other things that go on along with your academics. I don't know how you have time to do anything else or go anyplace else, but anyway, we can do that on campus. So the other thing we wanted to just hit on real quickly is that Emily talked about our housing system. So along with that, of course, our meals that we have different meal plans, and you'll learn that as you go and do other college visits. And the reason that happens a lot of times is because of the sports. If you're in a sport, you're not on campus all week and you're every week, or you're not a breakfast person. So that's what I ask about this. It's like, what sport am I playing? Do I eat breakfast anytime? And will I want to eat in the Swarm? The Swarm is a place that has like our fast food, so you can exchange meals in the Swarm for the Commons, where everyone eats on a daily basis. But 10 meals a week, 14 a week, and 21. There are no breakfast meals. There's meals that are on the weekends, but you guys don't get up, so we don't feed you until later in the day. So that's really something that you'll be accustomed to as you're looking at other campuses, is that there's different meal plans for you to choose from. The other thing that we have available, as always at other campuses too, is you can come and visit. You have to come and visit by invitation, so you have to talk to your admissions counselors or a coach. And you can do that through us, and we'd be glad to set those visits up. Emily is going to put the registration link into the chat box for you, so that if you wanted to click on that, then in that chat box, you can click on it. I think we think that will work. Or like I said, just go to graceland.edu, and at the very top right corner, it says visit. And we can do virtual visits also, as we all are doing now. And we've been doing those since spring. So that means that you're on the computer for several hours and you're talking to different folks. And so you'll talk to whatever major professor you're looking at. You'll talk to possibly a coach, possibly a choir director. You'll talk to financial aid. So there's different pieces and parts to a visit, and we'd love to set that up for you. So like I said, at the very bottom there in that box, that's what everybody's having to tell you now. Of course, if you come on campus, you have to wear a mask, you have to get your temperature taken. So there's protocol and procedure that everyone has to go through, and it's okay. We've been doing it. We've been successful with it, so that'll work for us. We got one more slide. Yes, so here we are in Lamoni, Iowa. So because you guys are all in Missouri, like I said, Kansas City is about an hour and a half from us, south to our south, and Des Moines the same north. So you can really, like I said, if there's places or things you want to do that are not in Lamoni, which might be a lot, but like I said, you can go to those places from here. And so, and then a lot of students do. Also, just 30 minutes on both sides of us, Osceola, Iowa, and Bethany, Missouri. There are Walmarts there, so you can do that. But like I said, the campus is in a small place, but yet, like I said, we are located in Lamoni, Iowa. But like I said, it's nothing that, like I said, there's so much going on all the time, but there's other things to do too. I mean, we do not encapsulate you here on campus. You are allowed to go free anywhere that you need to. But we also have, as Emily talked about, our housing system. One of the things that we do have here is that we have men's and women's houses. We have not done that join thing where it's co-ed. It still works for us here, so that's what we still do. We have one more. Oh, it's us. Yeah. So, so there are pictures, not that you haven't seen them already, but Emily's email is there, and then mine. And so, like I said, Emily has Kansas City and St. Louis, and then she has that corridor in between, and I have both sides of that. So, like I said, just if you get on our website, type in your zip code, it will tell you which one of us will be your counselor, and so we can do that. Now, we do have counselors for different sports this year, so it may be still another different person. But like I said, certainly someone will take care of you. We won't leave you hanging. And like I said, you can also go online, as Deb mentioned, that you can do graceland.edu. And again, up in the right-hand corner, it says apply. That application is free to do. And so we are not opposed to you doing that at any point in time. As of today, the FAFSA, which is your financial aid piece, can be filled out. We won't probably have financial aid packages ready for anyone until November 1, but let's get those FAFSAs going and done. Just get on mom and dad and say, okay, when can we do this? So that's pieces and parts that you have to put together, and it's one of them that we want to give you the most financial aid possible through our scholarship programs. We have scholarships listed on our website that you can go to and find, that you can ask about those scholarships within the school you're in, within mom and dad's places that they work may have some, through a church if you attend one, they have some sometimes. I mean, there's just so many different places to look. I say you've got a lot of time, but it'll go fast as a senior. So please, please start looking at those scholarship opportunities. Many of them, their deadlines are January 1, January 30th, February 1, somewhere in there. So you do want to start getting into those and making sure you get that application done and in, so that you have that opportunity to win. We want you to have free money. It's all good.
And actually, Trish, one thing we did forget to mention is all of our students at Graceland come with some form of a scholarship. All of our students actually earn a merit scholarship based off of that GPA. And if you have an ACT score, that can often incentivize that as well. Those scholarships start a minimum of $10,500, and they will go up to $16,500. And like I mentioned earlier, when I was talking about BPA and athletics, those will stack together with that merit scholarship. We also offer academic honors days for our students who meet that criteria, and you can come to campus, interview with some of our honors faculty, and try to earn even more scholarships with that.
That's right.
Trish, do we have any questions in the chat box? I'm not able to open that since I'm sharing my screen.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, we don't have any questions there. But like I said, we want to make sure that if anybody is needing any information, certainly at graceland.edu, I'll mention that one more time, graceland.edu. That's where you can get a lot of your questions answered. And Emily and I's email are there. You can ask us anything, and if we don't know, we'll certainly get the right person to you to answer those questions. So can you think of anything else, Emily, we need to mention at this time?
Maybe just one thing. I get a lot of questions from parents, like, how safe is your campus? Yes. That's one thing at Graceland that we truly succeed at, I would say. Because we are a close-knit, tight community, if there's something that does not seem right, usually somebody already knows about it. On our campus, you have your residence hall director's phone number. We have several live-in residence hall directors that are consistently living in those residence halls with our students. They each have an apartment. So our campus is super safe because it is a small town. Usually, you know when something feels wrong. And to my knowledge, we have not had any issues with safety at our university.
That's true.
Knock on wood. So we'll keep it that way.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm not even going to talk about COVID. We've had a pretty successful rate there too, but I don't want to ruin anything. But like I said, it's been so far a pretty safe fall for us. We've had to follow a lot of guidelines from a lot of other people. And so, like I said, that's what we've done. And I think we've done that successfully too. But we really enjoy having you here with us this evening. We hope you've learned something about Graceland University, and we hope that if there's anything that we can do for you, you will let us know. So thank you for that, and thanks for joining us tonight. You're on mute.
You would think through COVID-19, I have this down by now. Well, as I was saying, everyone, thank you so much for joining us tonight. When you do close this window, there will be a really quick link to answer a 4-question survey. So we would really appreciate your feedback if you can provide that for us. Also, this is just one of the many wonderful sessions that is being hosted. So if you get the chance and you want to rewatch this, we will be on our moacac.org website within the week, or if you missed any other sessions, we're happy that you can find those recordings there. Thank you and everyone for participating tonight, and we will see you all later. Have a great evening. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.